Wow. Wow. Mic test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everything's working. Cool. Cool. Everything but my chat. Chat? Hello? Does chat work? Yes, it works. There it is. Okay. This is hello. This is Canis God, the one who still uses a Discord Lite. Apparently, that's an issue. I told Sword Kun, my friend Sword Kun. Yeah, he's the one who he's my sword. He talks too. I showed him a picture of something on Discord, and he was like, what? You use Discord Lite? I was like, yeah, doesn't everyone use Discord Lite? It's like, only if you want your eyes seared by a light eclipse. Nebula! Hey, Nebs. I have to say, like, I am so sorry. So I only had time to... It's rough, yeah, but I only had time to do 5 dog breeds, and... I'm sorry, I didn't fit in Dalmatian. But it's on the list. It's on the list. I think I'm gonna do a second dog review stream, like a dog breed appraisal stream, probably next week, because it was really fun to dig up a lot of photos and info about dogs. I didn't really keep many dogs. I kept like 2 dogs throughout my lifetime, I think. Yeah, isn't that funny? A dog keeping a dog. So, wait, my chat group is below the thing. There we go. Pomeroy. Hey, Pomeroy. Hey. It's fine. Thank you for dropping by. I really appreciate it. So, today's dog talk and chill stream. Let's do this. Okay, so a bit of backstory about me and dogs. About this dog and other dogs. I had 2 labs. They weren't mine. They belonged to Australian Border Customs, and they were contraband sniffing dogs. And that means they're dogs trained to sniff out drugs, bombs, ammunition, all these dangerous things that humans can't really sniff out. So we foster cared for 2 labs, not at the same time, different times. My first lab was really sassy dog who came from like a lineage of really high performing labs. But yeah, she was good. Her test grades were really good. I remember we got sent back her test. These dogs, they get tested. Like, they run through a series of tests and they get a score out of 40 on a piece of paper for how well they do. My dog was getting better scores than I was doing in school that time. I was in my college years, and she was bringing back like 38 out of 40s, and I was like, what? All you do is sleep and eat. How are you better than me? So yeah, I really like labs. Labs are my fave. So yeah, let's start with labs and golden retrievers. My fave breed. So labs and golden retrievers, they're pretty closely linked. As you can see in the photo, they're originally bred in Newfoundland, which is actually Canada. And there's a place called Labrador in Canada as well, where people think, oh, this must be the birthplace of labs because it's called Labrador. But no, it's not. It's his island on the it's his island off the coast of Canada or something that, you know, that's where Labradors originated from. They're actually the most popular family dog breed in the United States and UK. Surprise, surprise. Yeah, probably because of their really like friendly and non-aggressive nature. Basically, labs. If you want to get a guard dog to protect your property or whatever, or family for whatever reason, you wouldn't get a lab. You wouldn't get a lab. The lab would probably make friends with the stranger before protecting anything. Except my lab. My lab was really aggressive for some reason. She'd bark at everything, at anyone that walks by. And then the moment they got through the gates, she'd be like, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? That's me, I'm a good boy." So yeah, they're pretty popular here in Australia as well. I think about a quarter, if I go out for my daily walk, a quarter of the dogs I see outside will be labs. So labs need a lot of walks every day. They're really energetic. They store a lot of energy. They have to be walked, like every dog, but to a much higher extent. They sort of enjoy themselves like as if there were no tomorrow, you know? These dogs love to party and love to play, and they're really obedient and highly trainable. So a lot of labs are used in the military, special aid, and contraband detection services, like I was talking about earlier. Military though, I'm pretty sure that different militaries around the world use different breeds, but it's not uncommon to see a lab as like a bomb sniffing dog. Interestingly, how many slides do I have? Oh, hey, Sky Gazer Panda. Hey, welcome to the stream. You came at a good time. Look at this. Look at this paw. This is a Labrador's paw. I bet you didn't know this. So labs actually love swimming. They have webbed toes. Isn't that amazing? I didn't know this. I did not know this. I kept the labs across like maybe 4 years, and I always knew they loved swimming, but I never knew they had webbed toes. It's like, why do labs love swimming? Don't they just love the water? No, it's because they can swim really well. So if you have a friend who has a lab, go get down onto the floor and pull their toe beans apart, and you'll see this webbing which helps them swim. Yeah, labs love water. They're actually originally, from the top of my head, they're bred for fishermen, apparently, to help them retrieve. And well, not just, I don't think they were bred for like to retrieve fish. I think they were bred to retrieve game shot over rivers and water. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. So also on top of that, labs have they're really high energy, so they run, and they run a lot. I know this. They run tons. They also seem to have an insatiable appetite. These dogs never get full. Never. They'll literally eat until they're physically sick. Like once we left the garage door open, and our garage, we keep all the dry dog food there. We had a bag. We get bags of like I don't know, like 20 kilos. It's about 20 kilos. That's about, I don't know, 45, 50 pounds. And it'd just be clipped closed, and we just open the clip, open the bag and scoop out some dog food, dry dog food every dinner time. Somehow this lab of ours got into the garage. I don't know how. She somehow got in. And she sniffed out the bag instantly and ate it. She ate the remainder of like a 5 kilo bundle of dog food. Yeah, considering labs don't weigh more than they don't weigh that much. There may be 20 kilos themselves. So this dog ate a quarter of her own body weight in dry dog food. And then later, we didn't know this. We gave her dinner later, and she was just like, "Oh, I kind of don't want to eat." And we're like, "What? Why isn't she not eating? She always eats everything. It doesn't matter." And then we looked at the bag, and I noticed it was like all gone. Like, hey, who fed the dog 5 kilos of food? What happened? And then she looked really sick afterwards. Yes, Justin, welcome. I'm actually talking about the pug next. I have some interesting things to say about pugs. But going on with labs, here's a good one. Yeah. So labs, they need moderate attention and affection. Some breeds are trained to be more independent, Like, our labs, we were supposed to keep them outdoors. We're not supposed to let them sleep indoors. So this is so when the airport, staff close up for the day, the dogs are trained. They grow up being independent, so they don't require constant human attention, and also this helps reduce the chance of separation anxiety, which is really common in dogs, who get a lot of attention at the start, and suddenly the owners go cold turkey and stop giving attention. I don't know, because of work or other commitments, and the dog gets really anxious and like brr. They get really anxious when they don't have that human company. So we're supposed to keep our labs outdoors for airport security, so they don't rely on someone being there all the time. But yeah, there are, and you might know there are a lot of seeing eye dogs, like guide dogs that help blind or vision impaired people walk and get by. Those are trained to be in human company, basically 24/7. You can't let them be alone. So yeah, the really cool thing about dogs that, especially labs, is that their waistline. If they look like a chonker like me, so you can see number 1 to 9. 1 is really skinny, 9 is really obese. I'm probably a 10. I'm not on this graph, but I would be the 10. I'm actually not that big. I'm quite skinny. This is all muscle. It's not fat. Please understand. So yeah, check your dog's waistlines. You're supposed to have a really nice. You're supposed to be able to feel their rib cage. So if you see too much of their, rib cage bones, I think that's what you can call them, rib cage bones. You're probably feeding them too little. My dog is Chonk. Hey Nim. Hey, welcome. I've been expecting you. I did some research on Huskies and Malamutes, and if I recall, Nim, you have a husky. Dog is good, but cat is better. Ooh. Man! One-chan! Man! Must you ruin my vibe? Hold on. Whoops. Did not mean to go back. Oh, you have a Malamute. Okay, perfect. So I was going to talk about Malamutes as well. Roll. So labs typically live 10 to 12 years. They're really prone to hip dysplasia, which is like a hip condition with their hip bone, as you might. Duh. They're all well, basically a lot of dogs are super prone to obesity, but especially labs. These labs, they don't stop eating. They eat, and when they're done, they eat more. They don't stop eating. They'll eat anything on the floor. Literally. You see that wet sock there? Yeah, your lab tried to eat it. You see that eggshell? Half-eaten eggshell? Yeah, the lab ate it. Blame everything in the lab. If your food's missing, it's a lab's fault. Yeah, they'll eat anything from tea towels to egg cartons. Yes, this happened. My favorite tea towel was mold and ripped because of my lab. But yeah, and labs versus retrievers. I didn't actually know the difference for a long time. I thought the only difference between labs and retrievers were their longer coats. Apparently there is actually a difference. It's kind of like, it's really close though. Labs and retrievers, they're really similar. It's like comparing, peaches to nectarines. Yeah, so what is the difference? Oh, well, it's kind of like peaches and nectarines, I'd say. Or it's like comparing male to female human poop. They're pretty much the same with some really slight differences. Or maybe like an iPhone 11 to 12. Yeah, it's really little. There's not much. There are not many differences to compare it. Don't be mad, I'll let you. Rubbing my belly. Give me that belly to rub. Oh yeah, so I guess the difference between labs and retrievers, it's like, the difference between an iPhone 11 and 12. Basically the 11 and 12. So if I recall, the 11 and 12, the 12 has less colors to choose from, and the 11 has like 1 or 2 more colors to choose from. That's kind of like the retrievers, Labs come in chocolate, beige, or black. And retrievers come in gold or lighter gold. Take your pick. Something interesting about black labs is that, you know, black labs can always give birth to beige and chocolate coat colors, or also black, obviously. But two chocolate labs will never result in black labs. Or two beige labs will never result in chalk labs. It's amazing, isn't it? I love the study of genetics. Back when I was like studying pupper, I studied veterinary medicine, so I got really into the whole genetics thing of animals. But labs were especially interesting because I kept a lab that time. Yeah. So we don't have much time. I'm gonna power through. Who this? Is it a pug? No, this is actually not a pug. I'm gonna move the images to the side of it. What is this? Canis, what? Who is this? Who is this? Well, this isn't a pug, but it's a pit bull. And it's not really a pug, but I thought it'd be worth mentioning that this is the most decorated dog in history. This pit bull, Sergeant Stubby. That sergeant title, by the way, is official. He's actually a sergeant in the 102nd US Infantry Regiment. This dog actually served in World War I and actually got shit done. So he participated in the First World War. He was attacked with mustard gas, and back then in World War I, people were still using gas to like clear out the trenches and the foxholes, and everyone had to bring like a gas mask. If you didn't, you'd get wrecked. So Stubby was hit by a mustard gas volley, and then he learned from experience, and he was able to warn soldiers of incoming mustard gas attacks, and probably saved a lot of lives. So before, as the gas, you know, was being fired, he could tell and be like, "Hey, you smell that? It smells like somebody farted. Get down, guys. Put on your masks." And then he would also find wounded soldiers and lead rescue teams to them. How good is that? What a good dog. But yeah, he got his sergeant rank by spotting a German spy, and he attacked the German spy until reinforcements came. I don't know how he did it. Maybe it's German food. Maybe dogs just don't like German food. This is sauerkraut. I want currywurst. But yeah, I didn't think it would be fitting to talk about Sergeant Stubby, but he's such a good boy. Like I couldn't resist. So yeah, pugs, right? Sergeant Stubby's not a pug, but we're gonna talk about pugs. I didn't know this, but did you guys know pugs are supposed to have originated from China? You know, I thought pugs were French for some reason. What happened to the chat? It's a bit... Oh, weird. Weird. Why does it cut off like that, the chat? Oh, interesting. I'm just gonna see if I can fix this. Actually, I love dog too. They're very energetic. They can ferment. Fat and chewy. What is that supposed to mean? Fat and chewy? Hey. Hey. Where's my phone? Hello? Police? I'd like to report a case of animal cruelty. Yes, the culprit's name is Super Sexy Boing Boing Big Opai Neko Mimi Onenchan. Yeah, I don't know what it means either, but I suspect they're eating something they're not supposed to. Interestingly, some cultures, yeah, I'm sure you guys knew this, but some cultures eat dog. A lot of people think, yeah, China eats a lot of dog. Actually, though, Korea eats the most dog in the world, if I recall. Because after the Korean War, yeah, it was either after World War II or after the Korean War. There was a food shortage, like there always is after wars. You know, after the wartime, people run out of food. They eat anything they find. And so dog became a really common staple. I think cats were eaten too, but a lot of dogs. So Korean people sometimes still eat. There are still places that serve dog. I guess it's like a remnant of a culinary culture from a different generation. A Yulin flashback. What's a Yulin flashback? I don't know. So yeah, pugs probably originated in China, right? They were imported to the UK in the 16th century, like about Yeah, you know, about 500 years ago, 520 years ago. They have a face as flat as a pancake, and so because of that, look at this. Look at this. I made this. Who are you? I'm you, but flat. What's the difference? I see virtually no difference in this photo. So the really sad thing about pugs having a really flat face is that they suffer from respiratory issues, right? So a lot of the times their airways get obstructed, and they also suffer from eye problems. I'm not so sure why they suffer from eye problems, but you can see how, like, you know, their nostrils it can get blocked really easily because it's so congested. The airway is so tight. Like, it's so easy to get blocked by basically anything. Yeah, I used to hate pugs. I had a neighbor once who had really angry pugs. The pugs would always bark at me. Like, I would breathe. I'd be like, and it'd be like for the next 5 minutes at 3 a.m. Yeah. I remember my grandparents came to stay over. Granddad, Grand-God, and Grandma God were like, we don't want to sleep in this room closest to the neighbor side because the dogs keep barking when we get up. Like, I'm so sorry, Grandpa and Gramps. Grandma, I can't shut the dogs up. Like, what can I do? Throw a steak over? I couldn't. Yulin Festival in the West Tyone Country? Tyone County? I'm not sure what that is, Justin. I'll have to look it up. So yeah. I used to think pugs were really aggressive, but they're actually really calm. They're really good pets for families with children, right? Because they're really gentle, and they're supposed to be really gentle. I don't believe that. Maybe my neighbors just had a really bad batch. They're supposed to be really affectionate. Also, don't believe that. I was neighbors with that pug for how long? 10 years. Oh my god, I was neighbors with these two pugs for 10 years. They never stopped barking at me. Literally. Like, dude, I'm your friendly neighbor dog. Stop. I bring good vibes. I'm good. Stop barking. So yeah, pugs are also really, you know, not only are they affectionate, they make perfect dog babies. Perfect dog babies for those who don't want children anyway. They're also fairly intelligent, so for families who don't want to deal with silly babies and toddlers early on, I'd really recommend getting a pug, because they're more affectionate and intelligent anyway than your average baby and toddler. They're supposed to be really personable as well and have a really nice personality. I don't know, but apparently this is how they are in general. Oh yeah, they also learn really fast, and also, unlike babies, they're low maintenance. And they don't bark much, according to my research. What a load of dog shit. Or maybe, yeah, I'm not sure. It could just be my neighbor's dogs. The eyeballs can pop out. Supposedly pugs take the lifestyle of their owner. I've heard of that. Apparently dogs grow up to be like their owners. If you have a really chill, a chill owner that doesn't really, get mad often, the dog apparently turns out to be the same. I don't know how true that is. If that's true, then Nim must be like, Nim Lee here must be like the most attention-seeking dog in the world. Because her Malamute is like that. Oh, my pug's a couch potato. Oh wait, never mind. So does that mean Nim is also a couch potato? Angry management Chihuahua. Oh, Chihuahuas! Dude, oh my god, Justin. Okay, Justin, Chihuahuas, right? I had my friend used to have, their family used to keep a Chihuahua. This Chihuahua was tiny. It could fit into my pencil case, probably. But it barks at anyone and anything and any dog. It doesn't matter if you're like, it doesn't matter if you're bigger than, if the dog is bigger than him. It doesn't matter if there's like a literal adult walking towards this dog. This Chihuahua will bark like no tomorrow at this guy. It doesn't matter if you're a car driving at 80 kilometers an hour. The Chihuahua will chase and run after it. You can see where I'm going with this. Yeah. They don't have a Chihuahua anymore. Anyway. Anyway. Let's move on with Pugs. So, if you live in an apartment, apparently Pugs are really good. Apparently Pugs are really good because they don't require much. They're made low maintenance, right? They don't bark much, according, you know, to research. Apparently they're low maintenance and don't bark much. And also, if you live in the city, you will probably want a dog that doesn't bark much, unless you want to be publicly lynched by an angry mob of overworked salary people trying to break the 6-hour sleep mark for the first time in the year. Did I hit a bit close to home for some people? I got less than 6 hours of sleep last night. I'm so out of it. I had to go out like right away. Oh my god. The funny thing is that all this research I did, I typed up like a couple of pages of research, and that's only for 5 breeds. I had like 12 to begin with. Yeah, there's a shit ton of shit that I just wrote down. A lot of crap. And I have an assignment to do as well, right? So like I wrote down 2 pages of shit. And my assignment words document on the side of my screen, 3 words. That's right, 3 words. It was so fun writing about dogs. Dog barking. American. Oh no, I'm scared. Asian pulls out chopsticks. Oh my god. Oh my god, Onecha. I've seen some festivals, like images of some, not festivals, but like their village, some small villages in China. They have like they still eat dog. They still have this tradition of eating dog, and it looks so sad. Like, you know, a roasted dog on a grill. It just doesn't look. It looks. Oh my god! Can you imagine like a person's head roasted on a spit? That's kind of what it looked like to me. It's a cultural thing. I think it's not wrong to eat dogs, but it's weird to eat dogs for me because I grew up never seeing dogs as livestock, like food. Obviously, they're my friends and pets. Can't really eat a pet. Strange, isn't it? I wouldn't mind having pet sheep though. I really like sheep. Sheep are really cute, and oh my god, guys, sheep are intelligent. Repeat after me. Sheep are intelligent. They know what's up. I once had to take blood samples from a group of sheep, 4 different sheep, right? They're all in the same room, and then we put the catheter, which is like this really big injection needle that just sticks into the sheep's like back, and we were supposed to measure its like blood sugar level after feeding it different things, like different grains, like, you know, like wheat and stuff. Oh my god, and sheep love grains. They normally eat grass, so like it's not as sweet apparently as grains. Anyway, sheep really like grains, and the point I'm getting at is if you feed one sheep more grains than the other, all the other sheep, like we fed one sheep an extra well, okay, before that we had, after the experiments, we had extra grain left over, right? You know, sheep really like grain. And then someone was like to our professor, hey, can we feed the rest of the grains to the sheep? And the professor was like, no, don't do that. Oh my god, don't do that. And then we're like, why not? We're gonna throw it away anyway. He's like, well, we only have enough grains to feed one sheep, right? We're like, right. And he's like, these sheep, they're not dumb. If you feed one sheep extra grain, they will riot. They will literally turn this place into a riot house. And sure enough, we did it anyway. And yeah, there was We fed one sheep some grains, and the other 3 sheep started getting really restless. They're like, "Rah! Give me my grains." They know what's up. They know what's going on. They're really smart. Sheep are smart. I like sheep. They smell a bit funky, but I can get over that. I probably smell a bit funky too. Yeah, maybe that's the smell of my Red Bull. Trying to keep me awake after 6 hours of no sleep. Sorry, hardly 6 hours of sleep. Oh my god. What if I have pet rabbits, but I've eaten rabbit? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I think I could keep pet rabbits, but I've also eaten rabbit. Rabbit stew was alright. Rabbit stew is a bit gamey. It's really gamey. Like, if anyone's had lamb before, yeah, I'm talking a lot about lamb and sheep, but if anyone's had lamb before, it tastes, you know that taste of grass that you get after eating, I don't know, a lamb chop or a steak? Yeah, rabbit is like that, but that grassy flavor, the gamey flavor, is even stronger. It tastes sort of like you're eating a mouthful of pasture. Yeah, for rabbit, it's really strong. I didn't really like rabbit. It wasn't that good. And yeah. Oh yeah. So moving on to pugs. I said they're good in apartments, but you don't want to bring them into apartments with a lot of stairs. And that's because pugs, they have oh no, actually no, it's all right. I was thinking about dachshunds. No, dachshunds you don't want stairs for dachshunds because that'll break their back. But you also don't want pugs in an apartment that's actually no, it's all right to have pugs in just about any apartment. They don't require that much exercise. You can just sort of like let them run a bit and they're good to go. They don't. It's okay for pugs to be couch potatoes like Nim. but labs and huskies and malamutes, they need to run. They need to run a lot. So now that we're moving on to huskies and malamutes, there's only one word I have to describe this breed, and that's brrr, brrr. Haha, doggo goes brrr. Do you see this image? It's a glowing light hole ball of energy. And there's a reason why I put husky ears on it. Huskies have so much energy, guys. Oh my god. If you can't walk a dog, if you can't play with a dog, exercise it 2 hours a day, at least 2 hours a day. Don't get a husky or a malamute. They need a lot of exercise, okay? They're also furry. They're really beautiful. They look like wolves. I really like that. I used to want a husky myself because wolves are kind of my favorite animals. Yeah, it's coming from me. You heard it here first, folks. Wolves are my favorite animals. They, but huskies, they're really heavy and furry chonkers who require an absurd amount of exercise, right? And some places say you need at least minimum 5Ks. 5Ks, how much is that? Like 2.5 miles, I guess? Or 2 hours of exercise every day. Wait, but did you want more reasons to not say? Did you want more reasons to not get one? Well, they also shed more. These huskies and malamutes, right? They also shed more than diet companies claim you can lose in a month of eating a staple of boiled broccoli, okay? So beware of these warnings before getting one. Because local adoption pounds are generally full of huskies around the world. In Australia, we have a lot of huskies. It's not uncommon to see a husky in the dog pound or like the adoption shed. Because Dumbo humans get one for their awesome-ass wolf-like appearance, only to find out that they get restless and destroy every piece of precious houseware because they weren't exercised for 2 hours. Is that it, Canis? No, the list continues! Huskies are also famous escape artists. Huskies, apparently not malamutes, but huskies are famous escape artists. If your fence is not husky proof, look, you need a backyard approved by like Alcatraz prison before breeders will even consider giving you a husky. They can get out of anything. You see a little gap? There's a gap in your fence, or like there's a pile of bricks next to the side of your fence. Yeah, they'll find a way to get over the fence. 10 times out of 10. If you go on YouTube and search Husky escapes, it's crazy. Like CCTV is good at recording these things. Good at recording the ways Huskies escape. They're so creative. They just find a way to escape. It's amazing. I'll never know how they do it. My dog goes burr every day. You can relate. You can relate. You can relate. Maintenance is important. Yeah. Huskies need, I guess it depends where you are in the world. In Australia, it's really hot. In the summer, it's really hot. So Huskies are bred for cold climates. Wait, before that, I just want to mention that, you know, Huskies are also really hard to train because they just want to vibe and party all day. They lose focus pretty quickly. I used to volunteer walk a friend's husky. That guy, his name was Lucas. You couldn't tame Lucas. You had the leash, but it was like the leash was on you, not on Lucas. He dragged you around. Oh, this Lucas husky was gorgeous. He had a blue and brown eye. It's a condition called heterochromia where you have two different eye colors, right? And huskies it's really common to find huskies with this eye condition. It doesn't really affect anything, it just looks different. I think it's really cool. I wish I was heterochromic. Why can't I see the chat? Hi, tropical country. My dog lives in his own room with AC 24/7. Good. Because if they live in hot, warmer climates, they shed so much. Literally, so much. But yeah. I think you all know that huskies are mostly used sled dogs. Yeah. They're bred to pull sleds because of their limitless energy. Yeah, I personally think this is a plus. Well, kinda. Most of the time. Also, another plus is the fact that Huskies and Malamutes are known to howl. If you have a Husky pupper, or maybe a Malamute as well. I know Huskies for sure. I haven't seen a Malamute do it yet. But, so, Huskies, when they're pups, they sometimes make this woo, woo, wing sound after eating. And sometimes they'll do it when high-pitched sounds come through, like on the TV, or like you know, like a police siren. They'll vibe with it and be like woo. So yeah, you can definitely keep Huskies and Malamutes in the summer if you don't have any time-demanding hobbies like VTubing. Otherwise, you can probably find your local husky-owning friend in the living room sweeping up hair and brushing their husky's coat in the summer all day long because they shed tons. They get too warm with their coat. Their coat's really long, so they shed tons when it gets hot, of course. Husky can't escape from anything. A charcoal grill. Oh, hello there. Oh, I bet you the husky will escape from that too. I don't think people eat husky. Oh, there was a story about this one guy who traveled. It's like a team of Australians traveled to do some research in the South Pole, and they had sled dogs. They said sled dogs. I'm not sure if they meant huskies, but so basically, long story short, their communications and their equipment got cut off, and there was a blizzard, and they couldn't get out, and they got lost, and they ran out of food, so they had to eat the dogs as well. Maybe that guy. Only one guy survived from that expedition. I think his name was Dawson. Something Dawson. Yeah, Dawson was like the first person, not the first person, but one of the few people that back then who went to do research in the South Pole and come back alive. So yeah, he had a dog. Everyone else in his team died though. Sad. Yeah, and although they look similar, you know, the Malamute is sort of like the not so distant cousin of the Husky. I like to call them the Mega Floof. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this. Look! Move! City! So on the right, that's your Malamute. They kind of look alike, a little bit. I think the Husky is more handsome. Don't tell your Malamute I said this, Nim. So, I thought they were about the same, right? Like I was saying, but they actually weigh twice as much as a Husky. They also love digging and chewing your socks, and probably need a bit more socialization than the Husky. So the Husky is a bit more independent. The Malamute demands your attention. If you don't give it enough attention, it'll just howl and make a lot of trouble and growl and all this shit you don't want to deal with. And they're both balls of energies, except Malamutes are more thuggy. They'll fight dogs of the same gender. Presumably for control of the turf that's closest to the kitchen or doggy food bags. Yeah. I can understand that. Hold on. Water time. Water. My favorite analogy is that Huskies are sports cars, Malamutes are trucks, Samoyeds are SUVs. Yeah, Huskies are really fast. Malamutes are definitely running trucks. I feel like if a Malamute bumped into me, I'd probably like topple over. Do you know Malamutes, they weigh like what? I can't remember. Oh shit, what was it? I think it was like 40 kilos at tops 40 kilos apparently. Or was that the Saint Bernard? Either way, they look like they're about 40 kilos. Not fat shaming any breeds out there. But yeah. Mine weighs 39. Shit. Nim, what have you been feeding your Malamute? Good God, I bet this dog eats better than me. Another thing about the Huskies is that they're supposedly more intelligent than Malamutes. But you know, after reading this, I'm not sure if this is much of a difference, given how like relatively low the Huskies' intelligence is compared to most other dogs. So apparently someone's made online, I found this dog intelligence scale by, you know, how well dogs perform in obedience training and whatnot across the world, and apparently Huskies are somewhere around the bottom third quartile, right? So they're not that smart. They're pretty smart, I guess. So I like to call Huskies like, I like to say that they can be smart, but they choose to be chill and dumb. Like I was saying about walking Lucas, this other Husky. He just wouldn't listen. He'd run down the road. He'd run on the road and towards cars and away from cars, and you couldn't catch him. This guy loves to run. But there was this one time after a really long day of walking, we went back to his front yard, right? To my friend's front yard, and Lucas was really thirsty, and we were finding the dog bowl, but we couldn't find it. We're trying to find it. Lucas, like, he walked up to a garden tap just sticking out from the ground, and he went like and tried to turn the tap handle. And I thought that was amazing. I thought, you know, it's like the kid in the class who hardly breaks C minuses, and suddenly he gets like an A+ out of nowhere, and everyone's like, oh, Lucas was so derpy before that. But then suddenly we found out that he knew how to work a tap. I was so impressed. I was so impressed. But that was his only smart moment. The 99% of the time, he's an absolute idiot. And yeah, that's Huskies. I used to really want a Husky. Changed my mind now. Definitely want a Lab. At some point, I wanted a Dachshund as well. Oh, there it is. The Dachshund. Dax in German. So Dachshund is a German dog. Dax means badger, and Hund means hound or dog. So apparently, I found out that Dachshunds are bred to hunt badgers. Look at the size of this thing. Like, can we just talk about this image? This dog is like a David to a Goliath. How did he even manage to maim and kill this badger who's like 4 times his size? He's probably hiding like a Glock 19 somewhere in that coat, pretending to be a dog after popping the badger. So then I tried to look up why Germans needed to hunt the badgers. Like, they bred this entire lineage of dogs to create the Dachshund, right? To hunt badgers. So surely there's a reason why German people needed badgers. And I googled this, right? And I couldn't find... The only answer I got... I only found out that the badgers were used in Europe to predict the length of winter. That's it. That is it. So basically every household with a Dachshund in old Germany also had like a living clock that screams when winter's about to end. Winter is ending! So yeah, they created a dog just for this, right? A lot of people like to call these dogs sausage dogs. Sausage dog. I love this sausage. It's so cute. And I love how when they walk, their sausage bodies like go rub, 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 like a metronome. So yeah, they have a long body, right? And that means their spinal cord is under a lot of stress over its lifetime. And it makes them really prone to spinal disc problems. So like one of the leading reasons why Dachshunds don't live that long, it's alright, but it's not that long, is because they have a lot of spinal cord complications. Obviously, when you breed dogs that are different from... When you breed dogs with special traits, they tend to have really specific downsides. And for the Dachshund, it's the spinal cord thing. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend them if you're living in a mansion or a house with many steps. If they have to go up and down steps a lot, that really puts a lot of strain in their spinal cord. And they're more prone to getting like spinal disc problems when you live in a house, when you make them go up and down like that a lot. So yeah. I used to think that these sausage snag pups only came with a short coat. They've actually got a really long coat. There are breeds of Dachshunds that have long coats. Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought that was a completely different dog, like a German Spitz or something. Yeah. Teach you how to cook dog. Sure, Nico. Sure, Nico. Maybe if I ever fancy eating dog, I'll hit you up and we can go get like dog yakiniku or like Korean barbecue, but with a twist. Dog talk, hey faggy, welcome. Do you have a dog? Other than me? Are you cheating on me with another dog? So we've just talked about Dachshunds, right? And Dachshunds, they're not that long. They look okay in this photo, but the typical Dachshund hardly reaches like your standard 30 cm ruler. You know the rulers we used to use in classrooms where, there's only one size really. Well, there's two, but we only use a 30 cm one. Oh, by the way, 30 centimeters is about 12 inches. And Dachshunds are hardly 30. Apparently they're like 29 cm. Pops. So they can be half that size. They're so cute though, oh my god. They'll bark at anything that moves in the night though. So, I don't know what it is with these small dog breeds that love to bark at everything. Like they want to assert dominance as a compensation for something. So yeah. I don't know anyone who's crazy enough to keep a sausage dog outdoors, because they'll just bark at everything. But at least they're not that clingy, so they're not high attention seeking. You don't need to give them that much affection. Some affection is needed, so they're not that independent. They also they're not high attention seeking, but they're really high food seeking. So they have this crazy high appetite like the labs do, and you shouldn't overfeed a Dachshund because all the weight goes into the belly, which makes, puts more strain on the spinal cord. And that's not good. So yeah, Dachshunds, they always seem hungry. Not sure why. Must be because they love digging, since they were trained to dig badgers out of families who forgot to pick up a winter clock at their local Walmart And it's already November. Oh, Fangy, what dogs do you have? What dogs do you have? Is it a lab? If it's not a lab, I'll be angry. The pressure is on! Bum bum bum. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, guys, this is a Dachshund with shotgun shells, or not shotgun shells, bullets in its pouch thing. How cool is this dog? I love this dog. I shall name him Sergeant Pavlenchenko. That's like calling a Russian. That's like saying it's a Russian Mr. Smith. It's a really common name. Anyway, anyway. I have a Pomeranian. You're the only lab for me. I was gonna talk about Pomeranians too, actually. Pomeranians used to be my favorite breed. I used to have one bark at me all the time, and I'd run around scared, like ah. Yeah, Pomeranians are really popular in Asian households and East Asian countries. So, you know, in countries like China and Hong Kong. So I used to live in Hong Kong, but in Hong Kong, there's not much space. So a lot of people like to keep Pomeranians. They're really fluffy, they're really cute, but most importantly, they're really small and low maintenance. So you don't need to walk them that much. You can live in an apartment with little room, and they're really cute. Yeah, so they fit a lot of East Asian household lifestyles. Pomeranians are really popular. I see a lot of Pomeranians in East Asia. Yeah, they're little dogs, but they bark like no tomorrow. They bark at literally anything. If your tap drips one droplet of water in the middle of the night, it's just like yeah. Pomeranians. I don't like them that much anymore though. Yeah. Let's move on. Oh. This is a sausage dog, guys. Take a good look. Take a really good look. Okay, so this is Chowsy Tube, another dog tuber. Chowsy, their Twitter tags right there, at Chowsy Tube. This dog is the only sausage dog that I'm aware of. I think. Gotta love them wiener dogs. Hey sheeps. Hey sheeps. I regret to inform you I didn't get to write much on the sheeps. By that I mean I haven't written anything on the sheeps. I'll do sheeps on a later stream. Maybe next week. There's a lot to talk about sheeps. Because the internet sees them as this really quirky, cool dog. So recently in Australia, pardon me. You said Wiener, I teleported here. Did somebody call for me? So do you guys, maybe you guys have seen the meme dog. When that meme first came out, a lot of people in Australia wanted a sheep and wanted a Shiba, right? It was so popular to the point where, breeders had like a long waiting line of people, literally waiting for sheeps. But like, you had to wait a couple of years to get a sheep. That's how long the waiting line was, right? And then suddenly, the next year, there were a lot of sheeps in the local shelters and dog pounds. Because people just bought them because they were cool from the meme. They didn't realize that sheeps were really temperamental. They get angry really. They're really stubborn dogs. If they don't want to do something, they won't do it. And that's where all the images of sheeps with the crumpled up neck and face come from. You know, the sheep that's trying to pull back on the leash, like, I don't want to go. Yeah, they'll do that for a long time until they want to go. I remember seeing this one blog post of some Japanese grandpa who took their Shiba for a walk in the countryside. And this sheep, the countryside in Japan, it's really mountainous, so He walked like half an hour into the mountains, 45 minutes, and close to an hour. And then the sheep suddenly like stopped and was like, I'm not moving. It will take divine intervention for me to move. The sheep just refused to move. And the grandpa's like, well, guess I'll wait then. So they waited for half an hour, and the grandpa wrote a blog post on it. I remember reading it. This sheep just would not move. He just sat there in the middle of the driveway, of the road, like the mountain road, and just chilled there, you know, and listening to the birds chirp and the wind blows, like a samurai sheep. So yeah, that grandpa had to carry the sheep back. He literally cradled the dog like a baby, the sheep like a baby, and walked all the way back, 45 to an hour back to his house. The sheep, so bad. Someone I knew had a Shiba, and she was kind of a brat. Don't know if it was a training issue. I assume you mean the Shiba is the kind of a brat, not the friend. It's hard to train sheeps, you know. They're because they're stubborn. And they're quite independent. Yeah, Nim. They're really independent puppets. So if they don't want to do something, they just won't do it. Have you guys seen that HoloLive edits of? There's this Japanese TV show where a sheep owner walks its sheep, and it's staged obviously, but suddenly a van pops out and 3 really evil looking masked dudes make a lot of noise and go, hey, I'm gonna kill you, and then abduct the owner. The owner plays along. The owner's like, help me, Maru-chan, help me, and the sheep's just like running away and just watching his owner from a safe distance. The owner gets pulled into the van and starts knocking the window like, do. Maru, help me. And the sheep's like, nope. Just watches the owner get abducted and driven away. Yeah, it kind of tells you how independent sheeps are. Well, am I calling you out, Genshiba? I'm sorry for calling you out like that. I carry mine quite often. It's actually really well behaved, independent, not cuddly, very quirky. Yeah, sheeps can be really quirky, eh? I haven't read that much into sheeps, but I only know what I know. What else do I know about sheeps? Was it sheeps or Akita? I know Akita Inus were originally bred for hunting. They're really protective, like retriever type hunting dogs. And they're massive. They look similar, but Akita Inus are like, they're big dogs. They look like they're somewhere in the 25 low 30 kilo range. That's about 50 pounds, by the way. Shiba's bred for hunting birds. Okay, that explains their size. Cool. Not that I really hunt birds, but labs were also bred to retrieve birds that people shot down. Go ballistic when they see one. Brrr. Okay. Oh, Saint Bernards, guys. The Saint Bernard. I love Saint Bernards. Saint Bernards are so good. What happened to my... Why is my chat doing this? Weird. I need to fix my chat thing. That one message that's missing really tilts me. Yeah. The OG good boy. The Saint Bernard is the OG good boy, guys. You know, they're fabled to find downed hikers in the Swiss Alps. And you know, you've seen that. We've all seen that. You know, the cartoon of some dude goes hiking in the snowy mountains and then passes out for whatever reason, and suddenly this dog comes with a flask around its neck and then pours like this hot wine into the guy's mouth, and the guy's like, you saved me, sir. Thank you. I owe you my life. Yeah, well, that was the Saint Bernard, and they're bred in Switzerland. I need water. I need booze for Nim. So, I guess the Saint Bernard is Nim's dog. Imagine Nim going out for a walk for half an hour, and then she passes out because she needs soju and she didn't bring any soju with her. Somebody give me alcohol. And then the Saint Bernard trots along. It's like, here you go, Nim. Beep beep beep. And Nim's like, I can live again. Thank you. Thank you, kind sir. Yeah, you would love one, Nim. You put, tie a flask around its neck, fill it with rum. I think you'll be good. When you're streaming, just call him over. Come here, Smoochkin. And he'll be like, here I am, Nim. Did you call for me? Yes, now give me that soju around your neck. I'm buying that barrel for my Malamute. Would your Malamute even listen to you? Like, if you tied the flask around its neck and called for him, would he come for you? And does he always come on command? Like, one of my labs never listened to what I called them there. Like, come here, and they'll be like, Otsun no dere. No tsundere, just Otsun. Yeah, that drove me nuts. Oh, apparently the alcohol is supposed to just... Pardon me. A lot of talking makes my throat dry. Yeah. Yeah. So the alcohol is supposed to just revive them. Because sometimes they're not unconscious. They're like they're just like about to pass out, but the alcohol revives them. They're like, they come back to their senses. I guess it's supposed to work like a smelling salt, I guess. Malamutes are pretty independent too. Nim redeemed hydrate. Here we go again, guys. Nim redeemed hydrate. Let's go. I should be drinking like a dog. Sorry, that sound was kind of gross. Saint Bernards, though. These dogs are magnificent. Just say the hydrate on YouTube. Yeah, I wish YouTube had a hydrate button. But people would abuse it like no tomorrow, given how raspy my voice sounds like now. Do the Phasmo ghost impression. So yeah, Saint Bernards. Back to the topic. Saint Bernards, right? The breed is really old. 1,000 years ago, right? On the Alpine mountaintops of Switzerland, there was a route that connected Switzerland to Italy. It was about 2.5 kilometers long. It's about 1.6 miles. And trekkers weren't only fighting against the weather, and like the fact that it's a snowy mountain, but also the fact that there are a lot of bandits along the pathway. So people who wanted to go from Switzerland to Italy and back and forth, they had to face a lot of dangers, right? And this route, not surprisingly, it's called the Great Saint Bernard Pass. And 650 years later, monks in Switzerland bred this dog, the Saint Bernard, and gifted it to this famous safe haven house, like a safe house in the middle of the route, made for trekkers to take refuge in case they ran out of food, or they had nowhere to stay and there's a blizzard, something like that. So they gave it to the safe haven place, and the dogs were meant to protect the trekkers from bandits and whatever. And people later found out that Saint Bernards are really good search finding dogs. Supposedly there's stories of Saint Bernards locating people buried under the snow, and also guiding people who get lost on the Alps to safety, or other people, or familiar places. So this dog is really smart. It's a really, really good boy. I can't pronounce French. Le Col du Grand Saint Bernard. It is very high. Oh, is it cold there? Can you hike the route as like a tourist, or do they not allow it anymore? Is there a route that you can walk through for the pass, for the Grand Saint Bernard? I'd like to go one day. Going on a slightly off-topic tangent. I really want to visit Scandinavia, namely Finland. I've been wanting to go to Finland for so long. I'm supposed to be there now, actually. I'm supposed to be there now on an exchange study, but that offer fell through because of COVID, and yeah, that sucks. Traveling dog does not get to be international dog, just traveling dog, because I've only lived in like 4 places. There are roads. God damn. I don't want to go there anymore. Just take me to the UK. Take me back to Wales. I want to see my hometown. I haven't been there since I was like a little pupper. A tiny pupper. A tiny wee pupper. Yeah. If I were to go back to Wales, first place I'd go would definitely be it would definitely be my hometown. So my hometown is this place called it's called South Glamorgan. South Glamorgan apparently doesn't exist anymore. there was a feud between South Glamorgan and the neighboring land, and the 2 councils were like, you know what, let's just merge places. Let's just merge land, and so the 2 places merge, and now the whole place is just the whole area combined. It's just called the Vale of Glamorgan now. Now this is really cool because when people open my passport, it's like, whoa, you were born in Wales? You're Welsh? And I'm like, well, look at this symbol on my shoulder. It's the Welsh royal symbol. And then they'll look at South Glamorgan, they'll be like, oh, where's South Glamorgan? They search it up, and it's like, this place doesn't exist, but it's on the passport. How are you doing this, Canis? What is this sorcery? I couldn't help it. It's what my record said when I hope I don't run into immigration problems one day. When people check my passport, dog passport, and be like, Canis, this place doesn't exist anymore. Is this a counterfeit passport? No, it used to exist, I'm telling you. So yeah, the St. Bernards, right? Back to St. Bernards. Look at this guy. Look at this St. Bernard. Freaking mega chonkers, guys. St. Bernards. You know how much they weigh? Weigh between 54 to 90 kilos. That's like 120 to 200 pounds. Of pure good boyness. How can you say no to this thing? Oh, it has a really long coat. Maybe that's why you'd say no. A really long coat, so you need to brush. You need to brush St. Bernards really frequently. Otherwise, they get really uncomfortable and they shed. And they also shed. They shed a lot in the summer. They look like they smell. I've been told St. Bernards do smell a little bit. I've been told that any animal in colder climates, or bred or evolved in colder climates, for colder climates, I've been told they generally smell. Including humans. I don't know how true this is. But for animals, apparently, it's quite true. Possibly has something to do with the fact that it's like odors don't move as easily as they do in hot climates. So you need like a stronger odor to identify other animals. I'm just guessing. That's my guess. But the smell isn't really the problem about Saint Bernard. A lot of people complain about if you live in a posh mansion, guys, and you have a really expensive carpet that the Queen of the UK gave to you, probably don't get a Saint Bernard. They drool so much. Look at these. Look at these. Look at these. My sword is pointing to it. Look at these. This mouth was designed to drool, and they will drool. They will drool a lot. Make everything sticky and stained on the floor, furniture, you name it. So don't get a Saint Bernard if you're really squeamish about cleanliness, because they're not gonna be clean. They're gonna be anything but clean. They're famous for drooling. It literally says in every website, if you get a Saint Bernard, better be ready for it to drool. Better be ready to clean things. Better be ready to say goodbye to your grandma's favorite sentimental carpet. Because you're not going to see it clean ever again. But I guess the good thing about Saint Bernards is that they don't have a crazy appetite. Like, you know, dogs, some dogs have crazy appetites. Labs. I'm gonna take a drink of water. I'm smelling. Can you verify this for me, Sheebs? Do a big sniff. Do a big sniff of your armpits and let me know. Saint Bernards, they don't... Oh my god, my throat is killing me. They don't eat, they don't have a really big appetite, but they have a really big body. So if you overfeed them, they're gonna struggle. Especially, they struggle with hip and bone joint problems. Hip dysplasia, especially. That's like the most common issue they have. So if they're overfed, a lot of stress gets put onto their hips and their joints. They're so heavy already, like 90 kilograms. Oh my god, my TV doesn't even weigh 90 kilograms. God damn it. And it's like a what, 51 inch or something. Yeah, the TV. So can you imagine like 90 kilos of weight on flimsy bones of a long-bodied dogger? Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I think the number one thing to mention about this breed is that because they drool so much, and they maybe the drooling has something to do with the fact that they're, they have this really derpy and droopy mouth shape. And if you decide to get this dog, you should probably drop by the hardware store and buy a bulk packet of buckets, because you're gonna need them. But on top of that, Saint Bernards, Bernies they're pretty good people pleasers. They love to be the good boy. If you try to train them and you reward them for doing the right thing, they'll always do it. They'll do it forever. They'll do it over and over and over again. Because they love that attention. They love it so much, they'll literally... Apparently they're stubborn, but their desire to please people goes beyond that. So that makes them really easy to train, really obedient. And they're generally affectionate, but they also protect... They're known to protect their family if they sense that their family's in danger. So they're good dogs. They were still keeping in mind they were still bred to protect people from bandits. Yeah. So stomach twisting is also a really common problem for these Saint Bernards. Sorry, not Saint Bernards. It was actually the Malamute. Yeah, no. The Malamute have this issue where they're so big that, and they also eat a lot. So if they get bloated, sometimes their stomach can get twisted, and it can kind of, yeah, do some pretty bad things to them. It is a pretty common big dog problem. I'm not sure how my lab managed through it. Like that one time she ate like 5 kilos of food. Yeah. Not sure how she's still alive, but there she is. She would sell a family out for a biscuit. She's that kind of dog. Can't blame her though, so am I. Damn, that sounds horrifying. Can you imagine eating that much to the point where your stomach just gets blocked and stops working? Yeah. So also the bloating stomach is really important. It's important to not overfeed your Saint Bernard, because if they get bloated, it doesn't crush, but puts a lot of pressure on their other organs, like their lungs and it gets hard for them to breathe if they get too bloated. Extreme case scenario, but it happens. Apparently you're supposed to feed your Saint Bernard dry dog food, just dry dog food. And in my experience, like not my experience, in my lab's experience, if you have a bowl full of dry dog food, you get really thirsty. It's just, it's just all dry, and after eating a mouthful of it, you just want to drink water. And I thought, well, why don't you just mix water to your dry dog food? Don't do that. Apparently, if you do that, the dog eats and drinks, and the food swells in their stomach with the water, and they get really bloated, and it leads to a lot of issues related to stomach tangling problems. So if you feed your dog dry dog food, don't add water to it. It's not good. It's not good for the dog. So yeah. Well, this is actually all I've prepared for this stream. These 5 dogs took a while to prepare. Do I have any more images? Let's see. Oh, that's a good boy. Such a good boy. It's a good boy. Staring into the distance. Looking into his future. The future brighter than all our futures. This dog is going out to save lives. Meanwhile, I'm here. I'm here talking as an e-dog. I don't save lives like this good boy does. She would do it again. She would do it again. 5 kilos of food, sheebs. I couldn't believe it. Didn't think it was possible. And bring Nim alcohol. You should just get a Saint Bernard, Nim. I think you and the Saint Bernard would vibe really well. They're really affectionate, but they also require like a good amount of attention. But if you give them enough attention, they'll show you like more affection than like any other dog would. Saint Bernards, I kind of wanted a Saint Bernard too. I've been saying this a lot, like I've wanted this and that and that, but Saint Bernards was on one of my I want to own this dog list when I get my own house. But then I found out about the drooling problem. I was like, nah. Do I really want to clean carpets all day long? Maybe not. Kind of want a border collie. Ooh, border collies. Border collies are okay. They're pretty smart as well. But they've got a lot of energy, so you've got to walk them a lot. They also smell a lot. I don't know why border collies smell so much. You need a lot of space, yeah, because they need a lot of exercise. They also have this instinct to round things, so... My friend had the lawnmower out one day, and he went back inside to get something, and came back and his border collie was just running in circles around the lawnmower because it wanted to round up the lawnmower. But yeah, border collies are good. They're good. I'm kind of dogsist though. Like that's a dog version of racist. I'm dogsist in that I think some dogs definitely look better than others. Like yeah, don't get me wrong, they're all beautiful, but I have my preferences. Give me a Labrador any day. I'll take it. I'll take every stock you have. I'll take every single lab you got. Especially the beige ones. The beige ones are the best. I love beige labs. Chocolate labs are nice too. My brother, Bro God wants a chocolate lab. I want a beige one. The default dog. Lab is the default dog. It's like going to a Ben & Jerry's. What ice cream would you like, sir? Oh, I'll get the vanilla, thanks. It's basically the same as me going to the dog pound and being like, hey, do you guys have any labs? Oh, but labs aren't... It's hard to find. I find it really hard to find labs in dog pounds. They're really good family pets. So a lot of people tend to not have issues keeping Labradors. They they're okay with keeping labs forever. My favorite spice is flour. Well, what if it is? What if it is? I've always wondered, you know how KFC has like their so-called famous 11 or something herbs and spices? Apparently people who have reconstructed the recipe, apparently flour is actually counted as one of the 11 secret herbs and spices, and probably salt as well. And then Brogard was telling me like, oh, he saw some he saw some Reddit post about people working at KFC, and they said it's just all MSG. They said you can recreate the KFC recipe and it tastes about the same if you use mostly just MSG with the batter. And I was like, really? I'm pretty sure it tastes... I'm pretty sure there's more to it than just MSG. Not that there's anything wrong with MSG. I love MSG. Monosodium glutamate with glutamic acid with just an atom of sodium on it. Smart dog. I know my stuff. So, going on a tangent to MSG, I'm so sad that, you know, I saw images. I was looking for street view images of some places in California, right? And in Chinatown, and I saw this Chinese restaurant on the corner of a street, and it's like Chinese restaurant, and they made it really clear at the front. They were like, oh, no MSG added. We don't add MSG to anything. And I'm like, what's wrong with that? And none of the. It's not like it's a bad thing, or at least Chinese restaurants here don't really say, oh, you know, we don't have MSG. And then I looked into it, and in the US, there's this culinary subculture of people hating on MSG because some really crappy researcher posted this awful article that wasn't even properly written or referenced, saying that the results weren't even right, or like they were really dubious and questionable, and he was like claiming, oh, MSG might be related to autism and these other health issues, maybe. And what do you know? The American media jumped on it, and they're like, guys, don't have MSG. This quack researcher said so. Well, they didn't know he was a quack. They believed him, and it spread like fire. It was the television was the Twitter back in the 1970s or something, whenever this paper came out. And suddenly everyone who was born around that time frame in the US, they have this notion that MSG is really bad for you, and you should never have MSG. But they don't know MSG is in everything, in a lot of things you eat. Like tomato has a really high concentration of MSG, and MSG is essentially it's glorified salt. So if you put salt onto an amino acid. An amino acid is like, you know, a building block for a protein. If you combine like a mixture of amino acids together, you get a protein. You get a really specific protein. And everybody knows protein is good for you. Protein, you need to have protein or you won't build muscle. You won't be a fine, strong dog like me, like Canis God. So, MSG is just that. One building block of a protein plus salt. It makes you thirsty. Makes you really thirsty. So if you have a lot of MSG, guys, drink water. Don't be like me. You're my dry throat. Magic Asian spice. MSG is so delicious, sheebs. I wish I could... My household, we don't have MSG, but in Japan, I always had MSG. In fact, sometimes I didn't have salt, but I had MSG. So some recipes called for salt. I was like, you know, MSG, that'll work. And pour like a dump a crazy amount of MSG into my food. It was so delicious though, it was crazy. My American neighbor would be like, oh, isn't that really bad for you? I'm like, well... Proceeds to explain why MSG is not bad for you for the next hour. I think he's a millennial, so he was convinced, but he's still unable to get that feeling. He can't shake that feeling that MSG's somehow bad for you. He can't shake it out of his head because he's so used to it. And everybody in the US is like, so many people in the US are like, you know, MSG is bad, so everybody sort of believes in it, and nobody wants to go out of their way to get MSG. Pretty sad. Because there's a lot of MSG in foods like, you know, meat, all sorts of meat. All meats have MSG. Cheese has a shit ton of MSG. Tomato has MSG. Nuts, I believe, have MSG. A lot of foods that are naturally good for you have MSG. Yeah, if you're adding cheese onto your food, you're basically adding a crap ton of MSG. Oh, and lactose. So I'm really sad. I'm like, when I found out that there's this culture, the subculture of no MSG in the US, I'm like, well, how does the Chinese food taste good? What do they put in it? Is it just soy sauce and sesame oil? Is that it? Oh, and I guess garlic and ginger, and what else do they put in Chinese cooking? It's usually just garlic, ginger, soy sauce. That's like the base, the magic 3 ingredients in a lot of Chinese cooking. But yeah, the flavor is nice. It's kind of like how Japan has dashi, mirin, and soy sauce in basically everything. They probably put it in their curry. Who am I kidding? Put it in everything. All the soups, all the stocks, all the dishes they make have like some form of this combination. So yeah, I guess that's why Japanese food tastes so good. That and why certain foods taste so Japanese. It's because of this combination of 3 ingredients. Yeah, I don't think it doesn't help that westernized Chinese food is seen as unhealthy, so MSG must be seen as unhealthy by association. I feel like that's kind of what happened. But I reckon the reason why westernized Chinese restaurant food is seen as unhealthy is because at the beginning the article about MSG was posted, and people just you know, as time went on, people associated Chinese food with MSG, and so in other words, Chinese food equals bad, not good for you, and people just, you know, hang on to that belief, and now everyone sort of thinks Chinese food is just bad for you. Oh, maybe not so much anymore, but people's parents nowadays, I guess, would probably think MSG is not good for you. They would prefer to find a Chinese restaurant with no MSG rather than a Chinese restaurant that says, oh, we might have some MSG in our food. A real shame. A real shame. Foods around the world, though. I think after what you told me about how Belgium's specialty is French fry. Shouldn't really call them French fries, should I? Should call them fries. Belgium's specialty are the fries. I really, really want to try them. I'm gonna look up the recipe and see if I can find the potato and the oil, because we have a deep fryer with temperature control, so it's never been used. Nobody's ever deep fried anything in my household. It's just too much oil. We don't want to like pour out like 3 gallons of oil just so a certain country's military can invade my kitchen. Jokes. Just so we can dump it out the next day. What else is good in Belgium? What else is good in Belgium? Other than chocolates and fries. I know if the Philippines has balut. Balut. Oh wait, but no, there's something else I had. I went to a Filipino-owned restaurant in Hong Kong once. What did I have there though? This is so long ago. I can't remember. I think it was some sort of fried noodle. Or maybe that was just like the Chinese food in the Philippines. Huh. Balut is not a staple here. Nim, good thing you mentioned that, because I actually legitimately thought, you know, a lot of people just have balut because they do. Waffles, chocolate fries, mussels. Oh, cool. Pansit. What's pansit? Sounds like some kind of bread of some sort. I like how Belgium specialties are all snacks. Like fries, waffles, chocolate. They're all things you eat to gain weight. The snacks you're not supposed to have on a regular basis. Oh, the panzer is a special noodles. Well, we're just gonna have to wait for Nim to confirm that. But yeah, I won't lie when I say that I thought people ate balut like eggs. Like people eat eggs in the UK or the US or Australia. Pansit? Yeah, I don't know. Calling Nim, paging Nim, beep 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 beep, Morse code, beep 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 beep, BOOMER. Boomer. It's Chinese in origin. Okay, nice. What's in pancit? I'm gonna take a look. Pancit. Or is it pancit? In Filipino cuisine, pancit are noodles and dishes made from them, usually made with rice noodles. Oh, yes. It was like this, yeah. They're like really thin, wispy rice noodles. Yeah, I love these. Introduced into Philippines by Chinese immigrants. And over the centuries, it's been fully adopted into local cuisine. Oh, so you... it looks like it's really common to have pancit with seafood. Can you imagine? Oh my god, Belgian mussels with pancit. Is that gonna be good? How do you cook your mussels, Sheebs? Pancit. So it looks like it looks like you mix like snow peas, maybe cabbage or lettuce. Oh my god, I'm getting hungry. And there's lime on the side as well. The dark color of the noodles probably come from soy or dark soy sauce, I'm guessing. And there seems to be a lot of shrimp or prawns in the dish. Oh my god, you guys get to eat this stuff. I'm so jealous. Panseat. My mother-in-law, panseat. I'm sorry for butchering it. I didn't mean to call it pancit. Common in birthday parties. Oh man, forget birthday parties. I'd have this every day. I'd have this every day is my birthday if I were in the Philippines. Every day is my birthday. Noodles is long life. Oh, interesting. Wine and broth mussels. Yeah, I was watching an episode of Gordon Ramsay and it was a seafood episode and he just caught some mussels and he just poured some wine in like a skillet. No, like a shallow pan, and he just poured some wine and just steamed it in that or something and put some broth in. Yeah, it was really simple. But I don't like mussels. Mussels, oysters. I can't stand mussels and oysters. When I eat them, it tastes like metal. Yeah, it tastes like metal. It tastes like I'm eating a mouthful of like a broken thermometer, right? Mussels and fries, popular in the north. Oh my god, I'll take the fries, but I don't know about the mussels. It just has this really strong seafoody flavor that I can't shake off. I've tried mussels like a couple of times throughout a couple of years. I just can't get used to them. It's not like it's an acquired taste, I just don't like them. Eat the fries using the shell of the mussel like little chopsticks. That's really funny. Like this dish called dinuguan, made with pig's blood. Oh, pig's blood. Dinuguan. Dinuguan. Holy crap, it's all black, Nim. Ah, must be the lighting. It must be the lighting. Some of it is dark, like chocolate colored. Some of them looks like curry. But yeah, that Filipino pork blood stew. And it's garnished with like a massive green chili. Holy heck. So you put pork belly in it. Wait, let me look at this recipe. Where's the recipe? So dinner guan is pork belly, edible pork blood, chicken stock, vinegar, fish sauce, garlic, onion, bay leaf, finger peppers, ground black pepper, MSG, salt, and oil. That actually sounds pretty good. I don't know what pig's blood tastes like, but they have them a lot in Chinese restaurants. You can get pig's blood like in Cantonese restaurants a lot as well, like Hong Kong restaurants. People eat pig's blood there. I found out blood is a really common delicacy around the world. In Vietnam, they have duck blood. But people warn others not to eat too much duck blood in Vietnam. It's a local delicacy, but often the duck blood it's not treated hygienically. So there's a lot of like tapeworm and other parasites in duck blood, so they say don't have too much duck blood. Well, I don't know. If I'm traveling, so this is me when I travel. If I'm traveling, I just eat whatever the hell I want. I don't care. If I die, I die. Good food, I would risk life for good food. If I've traveled this many kilometers to the other side of the planet, I don't care if the food comes from, you know, a rat selling skewers from the sewer, or like some grand restaurant. I'd eat it. Street food always looks so nice, guys. Oh my god. You know those corner shops in certain countries, you have like these pop-up stalls, or like this, basically it's a table with a overhead like shade, and they just fry stuff or they steam stuff on the streets, and oh my god, it looks so good. I went to Korea, and they sell it's called tteokbokki, I think. Tteokbokki, yeah. It's like a cylindrical rice cake, and they fry it in some savory chili sauce. It looks blood red. It's so hot, but Jesus Christ, it's wonderful. Bechamel sauce, chicken pieces, carrots, and mushrooms. That's pretty simple. Yeah. Vol vent. French cooking class. Shit, Nim, you can... You're a French chef. Cordon bleu. Bleu? Cordon bleu. No, I was told it's like blur, not blue. Cordon bleu or cordon bleu? Sheebs. Help me with the pronunciation. Is it cordon bleu or cordon bleu? Bleu. Bruh. Canis thinking he's all cultured and shit when he pronounces it. What is it? Croissant. Blue cord. Nice. But cordon bleu, is it bleu or bruh? Cordon bruh? Cordon bruh. Gordon Ramsay, bruh. Let me off with the steak sauce. Meat was held together with a blue string. It's kind of like the red. You know how in Japanese culture you have the red string of fate. If you tie it's said that you're fated to be with someone if you have a red string. If you can see figuratively see a red string tied between your pinky and someone else's pinky. It's called the red string of fate. But I guess in Meat's case, it's called the blue string of fate. Your soulmate is Meat Canis. Yes, I'm tying a blue string from my pinky to the next pork chop in my fridge. Bangy, yeah, when you travel, it's all about the food, am I right? When you travel, okay, the sights are important. The sights are important. The food is most important to me. When I travel, it's all about splurging. It's all about the least important thing to me when I travel is the accommodation. I don't care if I can roll up a sleeping bag and sleep on the beach. My friend did that once. She almost did that once. She came late to a French hotel, and they almost didn't let her and her sister in because Oh, the flight was delayed. They got there at 12 a.m. and check-in closed at 10 p.m. and almost nobody's at the reception. And she was like to her sister, "Oh, we can just, just take turns sleeping on the beach." And her sister was like a princess. So her sister was like, "No, we're not doing this. We're gonna knock on the door till they let us in." But I don't care if I have to roll up a sleeping bag and sleep on the beach. I will do it if it means I can spend more money on the cordon bleu. But if it means I can spend more money at a Michelin-starred restaurant in the UK, I would do it. I want them 3-star steaks. Oh, apparently I heard that there's some restaurants, the 3 Michelin-star restaurants in the UK. Apparently when you go in, you just get a menu and there's no price. How crazy is that? Like, they give you a menu course and they're like, "Oh, there's only one, there's no menu. It's just a piece of paper with the course, so you know what you're getting. And maybe you choose your wine, but the course is set. So you go in at a certain day and you get the set course, and there's no price because, well, if you're there, you have money, and people don't care about the price, the kind of people who dine there regularly. So you just get the menu and there's no price, and when the bill comes, it's like almost quadruple digits. I want to experience that one day. Cordon bleu. Did I do it right? I did it right. Oh, yeah, that's right. I wanted to have Texan barbecue as well. Texan barbecue. Southern barbecue. Apparently their specialties in the wood they use to smoke the meat. And there's one of my dog friends got into smoking meat recently. There's this really specific way to do it at a certain temperature, and the wood you use really affects like the aftertaste, the flavor profile of the meat. He says it's just like adding another layer of flavor on. You can put crappy meat and smoke it and it'll always taste better, is what he claims. But I'd like to try the smoked barbecues they have in the south of the United States. Whoa. I'm getting so hungry talking about food, guys. Holy flip. It's 3 a.m. I'm definitely eating something after this. Gotta fry myself some of those Belgian fries. Rolling a bacon, let's smoke that, bro. I don't actually smoke, but I tried a cigar once. I never tried a cigarette. I've tried shisha and a cigar. It's kind of underwhelming and not that good. So I knew someone who went to Cuba on a business trip, and they went literally to the plantation where they grow the tobacco leaves for the cigars, and the factory gave him like a bag of 8 or 10, 12 Cuban cigars, straight plucked fresh from the field, rolled, and given the bare packaging and treated, and they were like, "Yeah, this is a gift for you," and he took it back to Australia. He didn't declare it, he was supposed to. And so I tried, the first cigar I had ever tried was a Cuban cigar. We clipped the end, we lit it up, and he's like, "Oh wait, Canis, don't breathe it in. You're not supposed to inhale it." But when he said that, I was ready like, So you're not supposed to inhale cigar smoke because it's really, really potent. It's really strong. It basically chokes you unless you've been smoking your entire life. But you're supposed to just, puff it and swirl the smoke in your mouth, and it has this really deep, like coffee-like bitter flavor. I wasn't really a fan of it. He says it tastes better when you have coffee. I can see why. Canis is bad to the bone. Yeah, I'm just chilling here with all my hoes, smoking that joint. Been driving by. Driving by, doing drive-bys in my neighborhood to assert my dominance. Drive-bys, but instead of a gun, it's a sword. Swinging a sword like it's jousting. So yeah, cigars were alright. I didn't rate them. I didn't like them. The shishas though, we so I went to this Persian restaurant in Japan once. Yeah, it's really rare to have a Persian restaurant in Japan, but we went there. We ordered the set, and what came out wasn't what the set said we would get. It was a lot less, and it was really expensive. Like, talking like $40 for a single main. That turned out to be like a microwaved burrito-like looking roll, and that it wasn't that much. And so my friends got really pissed, and they're like, we were asking the waitress like, hey, this isn't what you told us we'd get. And our Japanese wasn't that bad, so it wasn't the issue of communication. And she's like, well, I told you you'd get this. It's not my fault you didn't understand. My friend got so mad, his face literally turned beet red, and he just like threw the money on the table and walked out. And then that was the waitress, the Japanese waitress. And then the Persian guy, the owner, I assume, came by, and he was like, in Japanese to us, he was like, to me, he was like, because I stayed. He's like, oh, I'm sorry you had that experience. If you like, I can give you like a free shisha on the house. And I was like curious, you know, pretty curious dog. You know, you live on the earth for 2,688 years. You want to try different things as time goes by and cultures change. So I took up on his offer. I got the strawberry shisha, and he's like, okay, so this is how you do it, blah 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 blah. And I learned how to smoke a shisha, and I tried it. It was like the flavored, yeah, it tasted like strawberry bubblegum, and you inhaled it, and it just feels like a cold air going to your lungs that tastes like strawberry. And I was like, oh cool, that's cool, blah blah blah. I didn't feel like high or anything. Just felt like I was breathing in a lot of cold menthol smoke. That's about it. It was free though, so I was like, yeah, sure, cool. Why not? Good experience. I can say I tried it now, and I can say it sucks. I wouldn't pay $5 for it. It was $5. I wouldn't pay $5 for it. And then the lights dimmed, and they're like, alright, ladies and gents and dogs, it's time for the belly dancing party. Whoa! And I was like, whoa, what the hell am I? What the hell did I just get into? And suddenly these 4 dancers in their like belly dancing outfit, I presume like Persian themed. Yeah, they got out. They got up onto the stage and started twerking and shit. Yeah, that was interesting. That explains why there were a lot of middle-aged men. A lot of middle-aged couples there. It was like middle-aged men and their wives. You know, they're all like enjoying, like going, yeah, belly dance, yay. And then there's me in the corner with my lonely shisha being like, this kind of sucks. I'm hungry. It was actually alright. The food was okay. It just wasn't what we were expecting. The Persian guy came back and he was like, oh, you know, is there anything else I can get you? And I said, oh, does dinner, like, when do we get dessert? The menu said we'd get dessert. And he's like, oh, actually, there's no dessert. And I was like, I looked so sad. I was like, what do you mean there's no dessert? And he said, wait here. And so he went back to the kitchen and came back with cotton candy. Came back with cotton candy and these sweet dates, marinated dates in like some honey sauce, and yeah, it was really good. I'd never had sticky like dates before. The fruit dates, of course. Never had those before. Those are good. Those are really good. It was just like a gritty, not gritty, but like mushy dry fruit that was really sweet and smooth. Yeah, and he was like, oh, don't tell anyone else, this is a secret just for you. And I was like, oh, yay, I'm coming back here again. I didn't come back. It was too expensive. So yeah, That was my story. That's my story of shisha and cigars. Welcome and thanks for coming to my TED talk. This is the story of Candace's sweetest date. The sweetest date to date. Yeah. So yeah. Well, I did say the stream was going to be a short stream. I didn't plan for the stream to go this long. Like 2 hours is... I mean, it's alright. 2 hours isn't too long. But I thought this stream would go on for an hour or so. Yeah. So as I was saying in the tweet, like, I had some stuff I had to do. It's kind of urgent. If I just manage my time, I'll be alright. So, let's talk up a bit of time. But I'm glad I did it. It was fun talking to everyone about dogs and food. Especially food. I'm so hungry now. But yeah, tomorrow I've got a collab with Nim and Roz. We're going to be playing some boomer game called Gunbound. It's going to be a lot of... Hint, there's going to be a lot of screaming. And it's going to be wild. I highly recommend you guys make it down to the stream tomorrow. I also made... Yes, Nim, it's tomorrow. What do you mean we do? It's literally... We talked about this. Like the guy in the class who was like, wait, we had an exam today? Wait, there's a test today? Nim's like, wait, we have a cola? No, I know you're just kidding, I think. So yeah, come down to that one. I realized I made a mistake in the tweet. The tweet says 2 a.m. Australian Standard Time. It's actually 1:30. No, it's actually 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. I made a mistake. I said it was starting an hour later than it actually is. I'll fix it when I announce the stream tomorrow, so that's fine. But yeah, look forward to that. Do come. And on Friday I have a draw stream. I'll just be going across Twitter and drawing VTubers that I really like. Or VTubers that really inspire me or that I really look up to. Canis forgot to use a calculator. Hey! Don't call me out like that, Nim. I was too lazy to pick up the calculator. You know how hard it is to use my paws. Yeah, so apparently 11 plus 3... wait, no. 10 o'clock plus 3 hours was too hard for this doggo. He messed up. Awesome. Well, hope you guys have a great night, morning, day, wherever you are in the world. And thanks for coming along. I really appreciate it. So, hope to see you guys all tomorrow. And yeah, enjoy. Bye-bye.